What up, you? What up? I look a hot mess. Yeah, so, I wanted to talk about relationships again, because I like to talk about what I'm currently going through, so that I can also help others, in their lives. It's my life. It's my Instagram. I can talk about whatever I want. Anyways, okay. Word to the wise. I want to encourage women, not just women, but people, period. I think anybody can benefit from this. Don't be such in a rush to... My bad, y'all. Don't be in a rush to get into a relationship. And I'm saying this because I'm still learning this lesson. And I'm just going to use women as an example because a lot of times women are like the main, we're the main people who really want to be with somebody. And it's men who kind of wait and women who kind of rush. Women who really want it and men are like, nah, let me take my time. And so I think that as women we can kind of learn from men when it comes to their approach to dating, when it comes to their approach to relationships. We should be a little bit more cautious. We should be a little bit more reserved when it comes to trying to be in a relationship. And I don't want anybody to think that it's a negative or a bad thing, or you're a bad person because you want to be married, or that you want to have a companion. Companionship, marriage are desires that God gives us. So if anything, we can receive it as a gift. You know what I'm saying? But I think that what I've learned is that anything that God gives us, as humans, we have the potential to pervert it. We do. In our depraved nature, we have the potential to pervert the very thing that God has given us for our good. We can always turn it for the bad. I don't really have an example right now, so I can't think of it at the top of my head. Maybe later on in this video I'll give you an example. But if you read your word, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, oh my god. Oh, okay. Almost got hit. Anyways, so the problem isn't your desire to want to be married or to want companionship. The problem is you don't have enough patience, or you don't have enough value in yourself, or you're not practicing discipline to really wait or really put some boundaries and put some values in place to where you be with someone that you're supposed to be with versus being with anybody. And so that's what we do. That's what we do as women. We rush. And so my thing that I want to just encourage women, and I saw this online. Basically, they was just like, women in their 20s or whatever, like they legit try to rush to get into a relationship with somebody. And it's just like, he asked the girl a question like, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What do you want to do in life? And she had very vague responses. And he was like, his advice to her was, you don't even know what you want specifically in your life. So, and you don't even truly really know yourself. So why would you want to bring somebody else into that right now? I'm not saying that people don't do it or that it hasn't been done. But let's be real. We live in a different time. We're not in the 50s anymore. We're not in the 1900s, where, the culture was different. Culturally, we are in a different time. The standards that they had in the 1950s and the 1960s is just different now. So we live in a different time. You know what I'm saying? So things are just different. And we need to adjust accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is just a rule of thumb. It's not a law that you have to follow, but it's just a good thing that you might want to just take advice to. If you're in your early 20s or whatever, and you don't necessarily know for sure that, hey, this is who I want to be with, then I wouldn't advise you to rush And that's not even just for like the 20-year-olds or like the young people. This is also for people who may be in their 30s and they still keep making the same mistakes, choosing the same type of dudes, getting in the same type of situations. And it's like, at some point, you can't blame men anymore. You can't blame men. You kind of have to like look at yourself and say, all right, what am I doing that is making me not pick the right person? Do I not value myself enough to like set some boundaries in place? Do I not value myself enough to be more disciplined, you know, and have some standards? You know what I'm saying? Like, and on top of that, am I just overlooking clues too? You know? And this is what I would encourage anybody. I'm finished. First, get to know yourself. Get to know God. Because when you get to know God, you're going to get to know who you're called to be. And when you start to find your value, your God-given value, then you're not going to let somebody else cheapen that value. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to let people just walk all over you. You're not going to just take any old thing. And what I mean by that is, I'm not talking about catching an attitude and all that. No, I'm not talking about that. Okay. If you're a daughter or if you're a son of the King, you know, we learn how to act accordingly. Okay. And doing all this stuff don't always work. Sometimes you got to get crazy on folks. Okay. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, like, you know, when you know who you are and when you know that your value doesn't come from people or from created things, then you're like, you know what? I don't have to deal with this. You know what? I trust my God. I trust my Father. And He's telling me to be patient on this. Because you'll form a relationship with Him. And you'll consider the King's advice to you. He's King. He made the universe. Don't you think He knows best? So you'll grow in learning that my dad, my Father in heaven, He has my best interest. He knows best. Let me go and talk to Him about this situation. Or let me, you know what I'm saying, let me try to like, you know, seek counsel and wisdom from Him about something or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, once you get to know Him better and grow in Him, you'll have this God-given confidence that nobody is going to be able to take from you. Yeah, you may get knocked down sometimes because you're human. It happens. But you'll get rebuilt back up, not by a human being, but by God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's different. You'll walk different. You'll act different. And see, I'm in that beginning stages right now where it's like, all right, I'm having to put some standards and some discipline and some value on myself. And it's hard. It is, because when you're used to doing certain things your way for so long, you're having to like restrain yourself. And for me, restraining myself is hard, okay? Because I do what I want. But, you know, I've learned that doing what I want isn't beneficial for me anymore. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? It's very ignorant to have that mentality of doing what you want. You know, because doing what I want has caused me too much pain. So I ain't got time. But that's what I would just encourage you. First, get to know who you are. First, see what are your goals. What do you want in life? Because then when you meet somebody, you know, then you can say, hey, look, this is my expectations. You can effectively communicate and say, this is my expectations. Are you ready for this? And guess what? It will weed out so many like unnecessary people. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have standards, it literally weeds out the wrong person. And guess what? Sometimes that hurts because the person that you want will be like, nah, I'm straight. You're like, dang, I really wanted him, or dang, I really wanted her. But if that person values you, if they value you, trust me. I'm talking about if your values are reasonable, because sometimes our you know, expectations are a little like up here, and we need to get it together. Okay, make sure that your expectations are reasonable for people. But if your values are reasonable and they are achievable, and they really want you, it's nothing. It won't be nothing for them to be like, yeah, cool, let's do this. I want you. I value you. You know what I'm saying? And so, hey, that's what I'm learning too, because, you know, I have to put a value on myself. I have to. And if, the person or the, the person who I, am interested in can't, meet that, and it's reasonable, then hey, you have the choice to either stay or leave. And if you leave, there's my answer. It's like, whoa, I literally like saved myself 6 months of my life, or like years of my life. Because what happens is we lessen our value, and we get in these situationships. We get in these situations where it's like, all right, I'm going through the motions. He ain't acting right, or she ain't acting right, or this is and it's like we could have did all of that if we would have just from jump valued ourselves from jump, put the value up front on the table, and then that person could make the decision. Nah, I don't want this. And like I said, this isn't a foolproof answer. I know that there are always variables in life. You can't always guarantee stuff, but it is, some advice, some encouragement. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't, whatever. That's just what I'm learning. And I'm learning it right now, and I'm trying to implement it right now. So that's pretty much all I have, you guys. Y'all keep praying for me. I love y'all. And that's it.